Hi, and welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. This time we're headed up to the state of Iowa for a tour of the Herbert Hoover Presidential Library and Museum. This is not only the Presidential Library and Museum, it's also the burial place of Herbert Clark Hoover, who was the 31st President of the United States from 1929 to 1933. The library is located in West Branch, Iowa. This is one of 13 presidential libraries run by the National Archives and Records Administration. This library was dedicated in 1962 by President John F. Kennedy. It houses the papers of Herbert Hoover as well as other materials related to his life and career. Inside this museum, we'll see the story of Herbert Hoover's life from his childhood up till the time he became president. Herbert Clark Hoover was the 31st President of the United States. He served from 1929 to 1933. Hoover was a member of the Republican Party, holding office during the onset of the Great Depression in the United States. Hoover was born in West Branch, Iowa, to Quaker parents in August of 1874. But he grew up in Oregon and attended Stanford University, where he studied geology. After graduating, Hoover worked as a mining engineer in China, Australia, and Africa, and in 1914 he returned to the United States to serve as head of the Commission for Relief to Belgium, which provided food and other aid to the people of Belgium during World War I. After the war, Hoover served as the U.S. Food Administrator and the Secretary of Commerce. In 1928, he was elected president, defeating Democrat candidate Al Smith. Hoover's presidency was dominated by the Great Depression. The stock market crashed in 1929 and the economy plunged into a severe recession. Hoover responded by pursuing a series of economic policies, including providing federal aid to the unemployed and creating jobs through public works projects. However, these measures were not enough to stop the Depression, and Hoover's popularity plummeted. In 1932, Hoover was defeated for re-election by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. After leaving office, Hoover wrote several books and served as a consultant to various businesses and organizations. He died in 1964 at the age of 90. Hoover is a controversial figure in American history. Some historians argue that he was a competent president who did the best he could in a difficult situation. Others argue that he was a failure who made the Great Depression worse. Ultimately, Hoover's legacy is complex and will continue to be debated by historians for years to come.
Well, most of the time we were hungry. Except in that orphan home, I had enough to eat, just not a whole lot, but we survived there pretty nice. But my mother was hungry all the time. She had a wait till that card that she could go with to get the food, you know. And then also in the afternoon we could go for a plate of soup. And like I said, there were lines, long lines. Some people would faint before they got in there waiting. And we had if we got a piece of bread too much or with that we could grab and steal, we'd stick it in our bloomers. Oh God, and give it to my mother. So she'd have that. She got it through the forces. So she was undernourished and got a cold and had to be dark. And that was all I know. She was in that hospital, screaming about it.
March 4th, 1929, and all across America and historic radio broadcast reaching into homes and schools, even into restaurants and aboard fast-moving trains.
With his writing, his travels, and what he called his unending public chores, Former President Hoover was anything but retired. For the last 25 years of his life, Hoover lived here in Suite 31A of New York's elegant Waldorf Towers. He rose each morning at 7, then planted himself at a desk in the living room depicted here, where he would work up to 10 hours a day on books, articles, government reports, and a vast correspondence with the American people. Here he met distinguished visitors, including Presidents Truman, Kennedy, and Nixon, and wide-eyed children from the Boys Clubs of America. Late in the afternoon, Hoover interrupted his literary chores for a cocktail hour, known as the pause between the errors and trials of the day and hopes of the night. Hoover couldn't abide eating alone, and his dinner table featured lively talk of politics and public affairs. The old man was a red-eyed man.